Ah! Ah! Hello, it's 4:20. Are you ready for today's reading? I'm kidding. This is an unboxing video. But today's a little different. Everybody else unboxes locomotives and cars and whatnot. Well, I haven't looked, but I got a most excellent deal on some junk through Marketplace. Well, not really through Marketplace. It originally started through Marketplace. Old boy showed up and only had half the load. I told this story before, probably. Well, anyway, he did. He made good. He called me up or messaged me and said he had gone through his granddad's stuff and he had a whole lot and he offered it to me for a song. And that song was a little something something. It's 420. Where are your children? Make sure they're locked outside. Okay. Well, anyway, this is going to be an HO scale junk layout building unboxing. Okay, for the first item out of the box. Excuse me, I have to cough. Save you from that. Last time I played it back and I coughed, it sounded like an explosion. Okay, well, anyway, we have a little house. Let me back this light down just a tad. Well, maybe I need to bring it up. I don't know. It's white, so it's going to be a problem. Okay, well, it's in decent condition. It's missing some, a post and or maybe a railing. You know, I'll be able to do something with that. You know me. I'll be able to fix something out of it. All right, next item up. Now, I looked this up on eBay from the decorations on it, and it's apparently missing the top, but it's really not that noticeable. American Reagent Company. It's in decent condition. I mean, somebody spent some time putting it together, but it's not spectacular, but it's cool. I mean, they were selling the kit for like 30 bucks plus $10 shipping. And tell you the truth, the last few kits I put together, they turned out really well, but I just kind of like having them already put together. Here's the other part of it. It's pretty cool, really. If you look in there, I don't know anything about reagents, but apparently it's halfway accurate. But these two go next to each other, and that was that model. Okay, next out of the box. I think this is part of another building, but it could stand alone as long as it was on the, at the back. But it's pretty cool, really. I mean, new old stuff. I love the junk, and I love to Frankenstein things together. I love to fix things. I've always loved to fix things ever since I was a kid. My dad used to work for Burris Corporation, working on adding machines. When he got out of there, it was Army, yeah. Dad was in the Army and worked on cryptograph machines. Okay, I don't know what this is. I think it might be a train station, but it doesn't have any windows. And it's rather cheap and cheesy. Eh. All right, what else do we have? Okay, this looks like it's missing a lid. I don't know. I really don't know because I don't know where this model came from. but got a little Gandy on there. One arm's broken off. I'll have to rig something and paint it. Or it could just be a broken Gandy for all I care. But, little side of the railroad shack. I guess it's supplies and whatnot. Okay, this looked really cool, but it doesn't have a top. This is a car dealership. That would be really cool if I ever find a roof for it. You know, he tells me this was his granddad's stuff off of his granddad's layout, and I can't go into antique shops or things like that because I wind up seeing entire people's entire lives on shelves. You can tell with some of these antique shops that they bought out of an estate, and you can just see somebody's life there for sale on the shelf, and they're gone, and who knows who they were. It always makes me sad, so I can't go into places like that. I think too much. Okay. Well, anyway, my dad used to work for Burris, and then they went from adding machines to computers. Computers that filled entire rooms. I remember Dad bringing home all sorts of wonderful toys to play with, his test equipment especially. Whenever he opened up his toolbox, it was like the Ark of the Covenant. Oh, it's so beautiful. Well, I'm going to have to fix that. But it seems to be complete. Don't know where I'm going to put it, but it's okay. I mean, I can deal with it. Man, I just cannot believe how big this box is and what all it's got in it. I haven't really looked. This is missing, I guess it's loading dock, but we can do something with that. Kit bash it. Well, anyway, watching Dad repair things. I mean, he'd come home and he'd work on adding machines and people's typewriters and things like that on the side. And I'd love to watch him. I'd always ask questions. I'm sure I drove him crazy. But that's where I got my drive to fix things. I told him, I want to be a Burris B man. And he says, no, you don't. I understand now, but I didn't back then. But, this one looks pretty cool. This looks like a station house, maybe. I noticed that some of these are Plasticville, so I should be able to track them down pretty easy. Well, anyway, I was always into Dad's junk and trying to do something with it. And then I got into high school and started fixing things. Took vocational electronics, and our instructor, he was great. He'd come in every morning. Good morning, you bunch of dummies. Okay, I don't know what these are. They're just in there. Maybe I can make a roof out of those piece parts. And here's a dock of some sort, but way off scale. It does say Tyco, though. Huh. Anyway, junk to the side. Anyway, I was talking about me. Yeah, my favorite subject. Actually, I just give a little background why I fix things, why I am the way I am. I took vocational electronics, yeah, and then immediately out of there went straight to the service. I think it was 4 days after graduation. I was in basic training. Then they shipped me off to tech school, where I learned ground radio maintenance. I volunteered for worldwide duty, and they stuck me back in Indiana. I knew I shouldn't have answered that last question on the form. It said, in what state do you have a valid driver's license? Should have never answered it. There's a church. To tell you the truth, I think that I like that ceramic model I have better. If I can put this off in the corner, I've got a paper one I made in the corner of the layout. I could probably replace it with this. But that's cool too. It's complete. Anyway, while I was in the service, I cross-trained into AVSATCOM and base intrusion systems. This is cool. Little garage. I like that. I actually have room for it. Oh, by the way, I found Godzilla. Yes, another Goodwill outlet find. But here's the sweet Goodwill outlet find. All right, I know you're all sick of hearing about Goodwill outlet, but look at this. 1943 Chessie cards. Peak, Chessie's Old Man, Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. Entire deck of 54 cards, okay, but that's not all of it. Chessie. Entire deck. 1943. I spotted these in the bin and I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I started digging and digging and I thought, well, even if I can't find them all, I want them. And I got home and started counting and I couldn't believe it. Jessie and Peak. I tell you, she's so cute, makes you want to cry. Okay, another find. We've got a water tower and it's fairly complete. Looks pretty good actually. I don't know what that contraption is. Oh, I see. Well, we are missing the spout. But that's easy to fix with a bit of flashing off of a model. But that's cool. I like that. That'll fit in little places. This is kind of cheap and cheesy. It's Plasticville. Okay, we've got the Kensington Fire Company. Nothing spectacular. Oh, but there's some big stuff here on the bottom. Oh, what's this? What's this? All right. I've got a storefront. Yeah, it's got a sign. Pink? Oh, well. Make it a florist. I don't know. That's pretty cool, though. I can use more of these and get rid of some of these. I mean, the paper buildings, you can't tell they're paper at 2 or 3 feet. They look really good. And I spend a lot of time, and effort folding them carefully. And they look good. I almost hate to get rid of them. I'll probably want to put them in a drawer even though they're made out of paper. But it did take about $16 worth of print cartridge. Okay, this is pretty cool. I'm not too sure what it is. Could be a school, could be a library. I don't know. But it really looks neat. And it will look really good on a layout. I've got so much awesome stuff now. I'm going to have to rotate this stuff out and actually make might even have to make the layout permanent. I don't know. I'm having so much fun playing with it. I just hate to lift it all up and spend a couple of days away from it trying to lay it down. I enjoy it too much, especially at 420. Speaking of 420, man, this lighter on a cord was one of my better ideas. Okay, what else do we got? Ooh, something with wires. Okay, hmm, well, use it. Ooh, there's a speaker in it. Bachman. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. You never know what. I mean, it could be Pola, it could be Lifelike. I mean, and sometimes they cross. I don't know if the companies are the same, but you look them up. What I really want is one of those demolition buildings, the ones that look like, post-apocalyptic. I'd like to have a couple of those. Pardon me, I have to cough. Okay, hope that wasn't too loud. I took the headphones off. All right, what is this? It's an unnamed, unmarked building, but it's pretty neat. I mean, I could use a little painting, but That's pretty nice. Oh, check out the windows in here. This reminds me, my sister had a house that she had in Indianapolis, and believe it or not, it was built by a blind man, and it was kind of like this. I mean, I don't have anything against blind people, but I mean, I think he took on a little more than he could chew. But I mean, kudos for he made it. Apparently, it passed inspection because they were living in it. But that's that one. Okay, what else we got in here? Okay, I am not sure what kind of building this is, but it's cool. Take up little space. And we have a swimming pool for the house. All right. A shed or a pole barn or something. This is strange. Break dancer. Who knows? Okay. Here's a theater. The Everett Theater. I wonder what was. Well, they're not broken off. Maybe they're supposed to be vents. I don't know. But that's cool. I got a theater for town. I'm gonna have to rotate these out so I can have them all. There comes a point where everything's just too much. And I like having my oddities along with the buildings. I really like the oddities. Okay, well anyway, back to my story about the Air Force. I was in the Air Force and I cross trained into half a dozen things, closed circuit television, base intrusion, wideband communications. Basically, they didn't have a lot of people on base and they needed somebody who could do it all. So I cross trained. Why not? It's another feather in my cap, another notch in my belt. Bragging rights. I'm all about the bragging rights. This is a restaurant. I'm going to turn this into a TV repair shop for old time's sake, because that's what I did for 30 years, and I still do service calls, mainly for old folks. That's what I did when I got out of the Air Force. But that's what I wound up doing. As soon as I got out of the Air Force, I started working for Magnavox. Yeah, I remember Magnavox. I loved that job. Electronic warfare, top secret clearance, submarine chasers. It was good times. Research and development. We had the nicest toys. This looks pretty cool. There's a barber shop on the end. Oh, cool. And behind the windows, there's a little tiny diorama of the store. That's cool. This was really a score because not only do I have all these buildings, I got some locomotives too, or at least one locomotive and a bunch of cars, a bunch of rolling stock. Here's the U.S. Post Office. Plasticville. Okay, that appears to be the last of that. All right, bear with me. We will get the other box. Box of goodies, box of goodies, box of goodies at 420. Yeah, I've been playing with that video editor. I enjoy the hell out of it. Yeah, well, I ran the TV shop when I had the storefront. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is great. I'm going to set this aside so I can start pulling them out. I had the storefront, and I did things like mod chips on PlayStations and that kind of stuff. I enjoyed it. My friends used to hang out at the shop. They were software and I was hardware, and we'd invent all sorts of cool things. All right, first up, a Santa Fe all the way, and it is complete and ready to go. All right, it's even got both doors. Who makes it lifelike? All right. All right. Next up, a Bachmann with hmm, crap couplers, KD clones, but they're crap KD. But it's a nice roller. I've got a bunch of couplers coming in the mail soon. Couplers and coupler boxes. I'm going to be fixing a lot of this stuff. That's a nice one. It's got a nice little bit of heft to it. Okay, we have a Union 76, and it's got good couplers, good trucks, and it rolls. Man, this has been a score of a lifetime here. That's 3 cars so far. Weyerhaeuser. Where? Weyerhaeuser? This is a lifelike. Working good couplers. I mean, they may be plastic, but they're working. I can start playing with it right away. I've got half of my cars have KD couplers and half of them don't. The cheap plastic ones seem to be the ones that are easiest to play with. But I'll keep a couple of cars where I have a KD coupler on one end and then the cheap plastic couplers on the other, and it's like, the adapter car. I can run the KD coupled cars behind it because it'll couple and hook up to the regulars. All right, here's another one. Another Middleton in New Jersey. Cool. I like having multiple of the same thing because, it looks like you actually have a train. All right, let's see what we got here. This is an older car with a tin bottom. Okay, I see no name on it when I look at it up close. And there's nothing on the sides. And it hasn't been painted. I wonder if this was a kit. It's got nice coupler boxes on it. Okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 cars so far out of this. Western Maryland. And that's an actual KD coupler. Yeah, this has got actual KDs on it, which are bent all to hell and will have to be adjusted because it can't roll. Oh, did I even see what brand that was? It doesn't say. Well, it's built solid. Okay, we have what appears to be a nice cheap car. Yeah, but it's cool looking. And it's got the brake and the doors. Yeah, this is pretty nice. I'm sorry about I get excited and I get out of screen. But farther away, the better the camera works. One of these days I'm gonna have to get a real camera. But I love this 170-degree angle. I might just have to use this for the table and then get a camera for the table here. Okay, missing doors. I don't care. The Katie. She got the Katie. Left me a mule to ride. Yeah. My baby got the Katie. Left me a mule to ride. All right, an L&N. No brand name. I'm sure somebody recognizes these. And frame mounted couplers. All right. What are we up to? 10 cars so far. This was a sweet deal. Okay, we've got a passenger car. Pen line. This is an oldie. It's got metal trucks, working couplers. It's ready to roll with a little cleaning and lube. I don't even know if my layout can handle a car this long. Probably. But I've been wanting some passenger cars, but I haven't been bidding on any or actually going out deliberately buying them because I'm afraid I'd get some and they wouldn't roll down the track because the track wouldn't go around the corners. I was just waiting until I lucked into some. But that's a cool old car. That really is. Some of these light up. This has got insulators on one side of opposite sides. So I bet you this sucker lights up once it's on the tracks. All right. Rock Island, a refrigerator car. This is a nice car. Ooh, this thing feels good. Yeah. I mean, you can pick this thing up and it's different from all the rest. It feels good. It's a shame it's missing its door in there. It's missing another door. Hatch, whatever you want to call it. Put that back on. A shame. It's missing those. But it is nice. I mean, it screams quality. I don't know what it is, but it's nice. And those are actual springs on those trucks. All right. One more car. Ooh, it's another one just like the other one. Yes. This is a nice car. Okay. 13 cars. Lucky 13. Well, we won't stop there because in the batch came a locomotive. A lifelike locomotive. It's just a four-wheel drive, but I bet you it works pretty good. Yeah, I've got another lifelike. It works surprisingly well. I usually don't like anything that's got traction tires on it, but some of them work really good. I mean, but they're all cheap. These things I'm getting are cheap, and I run the heck out of them too. I run them into the dirt, see how much I can pull with them, run them as fast as I can, push them to 19 volts. It doesn't matter. I'll work on it. This hobby satisfies so many of my needs. My need to create, my need to repair, my need to collect, my need to invent. It covers all the bases, and I love it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I'm thinking it probably has to be unscrewed to come apart. We'll save that for a later date. I'll get it up here real close. I'm sorry if I get caught up and excited. This is the first time I've looked at these. I waited days with them sitting in the box in the corner, just walking by and looking at it, walking by, looking at it, wanting to open it up and look, but I was going to do it so you could get my honest response to it. But I'm pretty happy with this. Well, anyway, my need to fix things. It's just all the time. It doesn't matter if I'm at somebody's house and something's broke, I wind up fixing it. It's just stupid, crazy thing I do. It pleases some people, and then other people think I'm a know-it-all. Oh, I'm sorry. I did know that. If I don't know it, I admit it. There's nothing worse than looking like a fool. I'd rather say I don't know. That was one of my favorite phrases in German class. Ich weiß nicht. I know not. It saved my butt many times. I may not know, but at least I answered in German. Yeah, Miss Jack, she was pretty cool. Yeah, uh, the was it Myers Briggs personality test? You know, it's like Jungian archetypes. I'm an INTJ, and they say that that's 1% of the population, the field marshal. Engineers are INTJs. Things like that. All right. Now I'm not bragging or anything, but here's the kicker. The old lady takes the test the other day, and guess what? She's an INTJ too. That explains a lot. I really want to see what this thing does. I mean, what kind of noise does an oil drum make? Does it sit in the corner like somebody's hitting it? Boom, boom. No, I don't know. Of course, it's going to make some sort of yard noise. And there's a potentiometer in there, so it's adjustable. Why would it be adjustable unless that's possibly volume, but I doubt it. Maybe it's something that goes off on a timer. I don't know. It's got a button, but is that an on or off or just a? No, it's a fire once button. Okay, so it probably squawks something silly. It looks kind of neat. I'll have to make a rail for it. That's one thing about soldering is I could solder a rainy day. I took a government course that qualified me to solder on the space shuttle if they needed me to. That was back in the day. Anyway, I used to work at Magnavox. I ramble, I'm sorry. But it is 420. Well, we're going to make it last 420. Yeah, research and development at Magnavox. Had a good time. Got to travel. Submarine chasers, sonobuoys. We were on the cutting edge, trying to break that 5 hertz noise floor on our amplifiers. We get popcorn noise. And that's bad news when you're trying to track a submarine. It's got a crank turning at a very low speed. Well, anyway, it was fun. And then the Cold War ended, and so did the government contracts. So I wound up fixing TVs in the garage. And that became a business. And that's what I've been doing for the past 30 years. Consumer electronics. I'm pretty much retired, but I still do the service calls. These are pretty cool. These came with this. A bunch of signs. All the signs I have came from strange places. I didn't have a selection. Just a lot of the same thing. This is a nice selection. Watch children, keep right, limit 1 hour, school slow, speed limit, no left turn, cattle crossing, tunnel, approach, high voltage, danger, danger, high voltage, when we touch, when we kiss. All right, resume speed, 20 mile an hour. Okay, that's that. Well, that was an unboxing. I'm sure I'm going to link this video to some other videos and play with the video editor. And then we'll post this for 420. They won't let me stream at 420 yet. I don't know why. Hmm. Well, anyway, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I got a lot of toys for a song. Man, some of these, if I was to bid on them, even completed already on eBay, Yeah, at the minimum, I'd be paying $10 plus another $10 shipping. That's crazy per item. And I've got enough stuff here where I can rotate the layout. This is great. And I got all that rolling stock. That was what 13 cars and one locomotive. You can't beat that. Let's just say all of this was well under $50. Well, Granddad, wherever you are, I want you to know I'm going to take care of your stuff and fix it all up. Dude's granddad probably just got too old and put in a home and missed his train. I'm sure he missed his train. Say when I'm in the home, bring me that micro machine train. At least I can have that in my room. Well, thank you. Have a happy 420.